Welcome back to another new podcast. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a sad story coming out of the Lauderdale Lakes area of Florida. It involves a man named Thierry Bastien who tried to intervene between a man and a woman having a domestic dispute inside of a Walmart, and unfortunately, he lost his life as a result. So we're going to take a look at this story, break it down, and see if there's anything we can learn, because we have definitely covered stories like this in the past on this channel. So let's get right into it and break down the story.
From the victim's family speaking out to more details of what happened inside the store.
We begin with NBC6 reporter Marissa Bagg, live outside Walmart in Lauderdale Lakes. Marissa.
Well, Jawan, we just got a hold of the police report, so I want to share with you some new details. We're learning the shooting happened in the back of the store, actually in the frozen food section. And the police are saying that the argument that happened between the suspect and the female employee here got so heated that the suspect reportedly tackled that female employee and was sitting on top of her trying to get her cell phone. There was some sort of discussion or argument over text messages that were on her cell phone. That's when police say that the victim, Thierry Bastien, saw this happening, that he called out to some Walmart employees to try to get help. He said no one stepped in. Witnesses say that no one stepped in. So he decided to intervene, was able to get the suspect off of that female employee. There was a tussle there. At some point, the gun had fallen out of the suspect's waistband, and that's when the suspect reportedly grabbed the gun and shot Bastien once. And then as that female employee was running away, that's when the suspect apparently shot Bastien multiple times.
Very tragic ending to a very unnecessary situation. Thierry Bastien lost his life trying to be a good Samaritan when he saw that woman in need. Now, there's a little bit more to this story, including hearing from the victim's girlfriend, but I wanted to stop here to bring up a couple of points. As you heard in that news report, the suspect was a co-worker to the woman who he had gotten into that altercation with. And if I had to bet my money based on the fact that he was trying to get into her cell phone, I would say that they were in some sort of a relationship, and maybe he found out she was talking to another guy or maybe even cheating on him, and he wanted to get into her phone to confirm what he had heard, which means this is a domestic dispute, which is one of the worst situations you as an outsider can put yourself into, because clearly he's not thinking from a logical standpoint. He is in a very emotional state, and there is no one more dangerous than a man who is heartbroken by betrayal. So you don't know what he's prepared to do because of the hurt that he's feeling. So a lot of times it is best to just call the authorities and let them handle the situation, because most of the time, if somebody is in a domestic violence situation in public, it's not their first time in a domestic violence situation. It's just now spilled into the public. So apparently that's something that they need to work through. And if you're not prepared to end the situation with lethal violence, then you shouldn't get involved in the situation at all, because you don't know what kind of time these people are on, and clearly the victim was on killing time. And what makes the situation worse is the fact that Thierry Bastien was not alone. He was with his girlfriend and his 4-month-old baby. Let's hear from her.
Yeah, I keep hearing the songs in my head, the gun sounds in my head.
It's a nightmare that replays in her head.
You hearing your loved one got killed is a different than being there and witnessing it yourself. And no, you can't do nothing about it.
Makia Ford says to know Thierry Bastien, or T, as everyone called him, was to love him. He had a heart for people, but most importantly, he loved his family and his 2 children. Ford says she already sees him in their 4-month-old.
He's always happy, he's always smiling, and that was the type of person his dad was.
Ford was with her family at Walmart Tuesday when they heard a woman screaming for help.
He was like, I'm not gonna, babe. He was like, I'm not gonna go there because this guy might have a gun. He said that.
An arrest report says Tyrone Sterling, a Walmart employee, came in on his day off to confront another coworker. He demanded to see text messages on her phone, and when she refused, he shoved her into some of the shelves, threw her to the ground, and got on top of her. Ford says that's when Bastine stepped in.
Yeah, I pulled him by his shirt and I was like, don't go.
And before she knew it,
He just stood over him and he just shot him like about 6 times or 5 times. Even with me screaming in front of him with the baby, telling him no, if only for the baby.
her screams weren't enough.
Sorry.
Ford describes the last few days as hard. What's even harder, their son won't know his dad. She says what she feels right now is hate and anger.
It's something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. It's something that's gonna be so hard for me to get over.
That is truly heartbreaking to watch. I cannot imagine what it's like to be in her shoes, begging for the life of someone you love who is also the father to your children, and not being able to do anything as you watch somebody take their life. And I know this is gonna be something that she deals with for the rest of her life, and I hope she gets the help that she needs to deal with this, as well as the children who will never see their father again. And that's why it is so important to make good judgment calls when you're out in public and you see somebody involved in a domestic dispute. You do not know what level of violence that person is prepared to take it to, and it is your #1 priority to get back home to your family and the people that love you. Sometimes your best course of action is to get out of there and call the authorities and let them take care of it. I know as men, we do not like seeing a stronger person pick on a weaker person, and some of us have DDS, which is damsel in distress syndrome, where we see a woman in need and we just have to help them out. But nowadays, people are so willing to pick up a gun and end your life in a situation that definitely did not require that level of violence. But people can be unhinged. You don't know what somebody's mind state is all about. So you have to play it smart and realize that not every situation you need to intervene. Like I said, sometimes your best move is just to call the authorities and get home safely. But that's gonna do it for this video. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you guys have anything to say, please leave it in the comments below. And until another time, I'll see you guys later.